Alright guys, welcome back to today's video of chasing 1500 Elo. If you're new, welcome. A bit about what this is I'm currently sitting around 1340 Elo with the highest ever of 1406, and I'm chasing 1500 before the end of 2024. We're going to start today out with the daily puzzle, and then next we're going to move on to a few games. I did four yesterday. I plan to do four today as well, as long as they don't take too long. Let me know if you're liking this format. If you've been kind of engaging in it. I know the shorter stuff usually does better. I like to play 10-minute games, so maybe a compromise could be to do something along the lines of just reviewing my games with you instead. But okay, yeah, just let me know. All right, let's get started. So this is called Danya's Tactic Takes the Cake. Okay. So when starting tactics, we always need to consider checks and captures. So there are a couple different checks. Of course, we could play here, but that's probably just bad because it's losing the rook with no real other threats other than something like this. But they can block, and then we've traded a rook for a knight, so that's not good for us. We can also trade queens. That might be interesting to look at. Let's see if there's anything else that we have. This is kind of a cool move. This is a really cool move, actually. Since the knight is putting the king in check, the queen can't take our queen. But if they take here, then we win their queen, right? If they take our knight here, then we'll be able to pick up their queen. Or actually, even just here, we'll it's not checkmate because that. Um, yeah, I think they have to because our queen's blocking this square, our pawn's blocking these squares, our king and knight are blocking this square, and these squares are also blocked by the queen. Super cool. What? Is that not it? Okay. Interesting. We'll have to go back and see why that's not it. Maybe there's a stronger move. Um, I mean, is it to play this first to get the queen out of the way, and then to play this? Hmm. I guess. Oh, interesting. I guess the idea is just that this is now checkmate instead of just winning a queen. Okay, so our move, we were very close in the moves. But the subtle difference is that this is now we're missing the mate, right? Because after this, we are actually, it says we're relatively equal after f5. And if we were to play something like, I don't know, let's say we play this move, it's now losing because of e3 check. It's the best move. Bishop to b5. And if we just play, I don't know, this is another logical move, right? King x to d3. I guess they're saying that we just don't have enough to attack and they have too many pieces. So while technically we're only up 0.86 in this line. That's crazy. And the best move here is actually to take. sacrificing the rook. Then you have f2 check, g3 check, and you get the rook back. Interesting. I thought that would have been a cooler move, but yeah, no, it's a miss. The best is to go here first. They only have either takes or blocks. Blocks is obviously bad because, you know, after this they can take, but it's pretty abysmal for black. um, it's actually not. I don't think it's entirely losing. But no, it's entirely losing. But it's not like there's no mates right on the board right away. They have to play d6. If they go here, then we have queen to c4 checkmate. But if they play here, they can kind of run around and, you know, escape. So yeah, take away the defender, I guess. And then now we have this move, which is checkmate. Okay, cool puzzle. Let's get into the games. Okay, so we are right at 1340. That's where we ended yesterday. I actually played a few games last night, but ended up right at 1340 anyway. Yesterday wasn't a super great chess day for me. If you watched video number 3, day 3, was not really playing super great, unfortunately. But that's okay. There are games always like that. So it looks like they're doing. This looks kind of like a London. Maybe they'll bring their knight out. London system. I don't really know the difference between the two. But yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting to see what types of positions we get here. It's not. The London system is, I think, a really solid system. It's, again, kind of one of those setup things. It's basically, I mean, I play a Catalan setup, so I play a setup in some way too, but the London system is similar. I don't know too much about it. I looked a little bit into the Joe Bava London, which I'm not entirely sure if that's like a meme opening, or if it's a serious opening and just the Joe Bava, the guy whose name is on it, is just kind of, in a dodgy place. I think he was banned for racist comments. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't know. Apparently there's some lore behind that. But anyway, it's kind of I don't know. When I've seen it played, it seems kind of like a meme opening. So I don't want to put too much pressure because he hasn't castled yet. He probably will castle kingside, but I don't want to like start, trying to lock the center and then he just plays like long castles. So we can take, but he hasn't pressured us yet. So I don't know if there's really a reason to. We'll move up. If he pushes, we're going to drop back. It's kind of a weird move, but he's overextended. Actually, no, in this scenario, we could have taken. Yeah, I don't know, actually. Do we want to keep our rooks on? Or do we want to... Yeah, I think the idea is that our light square bishop isn't that strong, and the knight on this is pretty strong. Of course, he's getting a second one, so doesn't really matter too much. Now let's start to look if we start to contest. Again, he still hasn't castled, but his queen's here. He decided not to take. My guess is we'll be seeing castles soon. Now let's just make sure that we can play this move. If we play here, he takes, we take. I don't think we can play it just yet because we don't have any material to win back here after it takes. And he has 2 defenders that are pieces instead. So let's play e1, or e8, sorry. Rook to e8. And kind of see. I'm expecting a castle. Yeah, there we go. And now, if he does this, we have an extra piece defending. But I don't know if it really matters too much because even then, I don't think it's. Oh, but no, it's okay because we have this knight, right? So we have here, they take, we take, they take, we take, they take, we take. So we're okay. And it usually doesn't matter, but for the instance in this, I kind of like that this file is closed, so we don't even have to worry about queen here. Although really, I don't think it matters at all. After we move the rook onto this file, we're kind of chilling. So, yeah, I think if he takes, it's ultimately a mistake. So I don't think he will. He doesn't. Yeah, okay. So, ooh, we may have a, no, not exactly, but it's close to being trapped. Um, we're gonna kind of kick it around. He may decide to take us, and that's perfectly fine. We don't mind that at all, actually. And even with a move like this is a pretty solid setup. You know, you can put the king here and play that move, and you're really doing pretty okay in terms of your pieces. Okay, so now that we like, of course, the opening principle is to kind of move, get your pieces off their starting squares, and then connect the rooks. So we've done castle. The only thing missing is to move the queen. So let's kind of think about where we can move her to develop her. I don't think this is a bad move. I don't know if it's the best. I kind of like this move a bit better, getting a bit more active on this diagonal, but also kind of being on the sixth rank, with ideas of bringing this rook in behind eventually. This pawn is kind of a nuisance because we want to move our knight onto one of these squares eventually. Um, so we'll have to start thinking out ways to combat that. My next few moves that I'm kind of having in my head are here, just to go ahead and get a doubles up so that if this ever moves, we can look at some exchanges here. Um, but you know, you got to make sure the exchange benefits you too. It wouldn't be bad just to let the tension build, and at any moment we have the exchange, but we need to be prepared. So he goes ahead and opens it up. That's okay. I don't mind trading this off. Part of me is just kind of thinking we go here, keeping the queen here. I don't want to let the rook get this open file, takes and doubles our pawns. I don't think that's good for us. So he's moved his bishop here. I think we need to ask him kind of what are you doing with your bishop? What's the plan? If you're going to take, go ahead and do it, and we'll take back with our queen, not doubling our pawns, keeping our pawns in a very solid structure. And he does take, and if he didn't, then we would kind of chase him around. So I guess that's a fine move, but I think that's giving us a little bit too much time. Like this move may seem worrisome, but he doesn't really have any good way to attack. I'm guessing he's going to probably push on this at some point. We have this under threat. Of course, we can't take it right away, but were there ever to be some developments like here, takes, takes, we have that. I think we're going to start pushing pawns on the queen side. I think that's the best scenario. Okay. All right. One thing we got to be aware of is that the queen can take back, right? So, but I think we can take, and then if he takes with the queen, then we go here, protected by the bishop. And then we have control of this open file, um, uncontested. So I think that's okay for us too. I don't mind that position at all. If he doesn't go back, I almost think taking this diagonal already is not a bad idea. But he does. We could play this again. I don't really want to double the pawns, and there's no reason to. There's no reason to. We'll just push up and slowly work our way up to the queen and cut off these light squares. I mean, it's pretty solid position for us. I wish we could play this move. It is kind of a nice move, and he's blocking us from playing that. Idea with this move is that we get the rook here, and then eventually we can play for this, allowing us to then push. Because that's ultimately what we're. But if we do that, of course, this is a weakness. So, but I don't want to give up control of the diagonal either. So maybe we play queen here, but the queens are giving us the offense target on this. So let's see, what can we do? We can play this. It's probably not very good. Why does it matter if the because we need to protect this pawn, correct? But even then, it's a little too slow because we'll be able to go here after. So I like that. Again, kind of creating a threat with a threat, right? But actually, I don't know if it is because after he takes, so if we go here, I don't know, say he plays this move, right? Just a random move. If we go here, he can now go here, threatening our queen. So even if we take, he wins the queen back. So that's not ideal either. Maybe we don't care too much about this right away. I feel like it's not exactly like it's. I don't want to trade the queens off, but I feel like we don't necessarily have that one in the bag, if you know what I mean. Maybe a better move would have been rook to back to a8, but I don't like moving it back to its starting square. It feels um, kind of against the point. Let's go here. My guess is he's just going to close off the position, and we'll just go back. Now his queen isn't really on a great square. This is really kind of an equal game. I'd love to see. Well, we're going to see in the analysis kind of what the computer gives us. I'm sure there are some mistakes, some missed wins, but the position feels pretty solid. This seems like a mistake because it gives us this directly. Um, and we also have ideas of like bringing this back because now he no longer has this idea. Although after we takes, it's still too slow. So I'm torn between doing this and allowing him to come in here. But I think a stronger move is. But then after he goes here, now he's added a second defender. And that's kind of a problem for us. So maybe we play here. Need to be careful of our time. We lost one of our games yesterday on a timeout, which is always kind of annoying. Again, part of the game, right? But it stinks to lose that way. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to give up this rook. I don't like this because now we're kind of cutting off our queen. So I think going back is okay. I just need to understand what we're doing after this. Because we could go here, but then we've doubled our pawns. And maybe it's not that big of a deal, but I feel like it doesn't really give us a ton of compensation for it. Maybe we go here, but that's a fork. Actually, no, it's not. Because then we just take. Actually, am I worried about that in the first place? Like, maybe we just take. Why do we even need to address it? But I also like putting our rook here just even more. Now, if he moves here, we need to worry about this because we can no longer take. But at the moment, it's not scary. Um, all things to keep in mind. If he goes here, I think our best move is we could get in on the second rank, but no, we can't because he might take us. We could maybe just move back and just kind of work our way back around. It's really kind of like positional grinding at this point, which is probably not super interesting to watch, but that's what happens when the King's in. Well, that's typically what happens with the London system in general, but the King's Indian too, when you get kind of odd variations like exchange variations and they don't allow you to like have really your pieces in the right position or lock the center so that you can push on the king's side is what makes the King's Indian so explosive. Okay, he comes in with a check, but I don't really know if there's anything that we need to be worried about for this check because I'm not seeing much after. I mean, he has ideas, but like, I mean, maybe, right? But then after this, I mean, we're pretty well defended, so I'm not worried about it. We'll see. Do I want to play it? No, I want to go here. If I go here, then he has moves like these that would just put us in a draw. But I don't think it's right to pin the king, so maybe I'll move here. He still has the option for a draw, but I can see almost. But now after I gotta think. So after this move, we have takes, takes, takes. It's one too slow, and he can't. I mean, he can't like get over there to defend anytime soon. So we're okay. We have 1 minute left. It's maybe a draw wouldn't have been so bad given our time position. So yeah, he takes. But now we have this move. Yeah. And there's no way. I mean, he won't make a queen. If he challenges us, then we take with check, and then we come back. So that's okay. If he does this, I almost think we like let him, but because I don't want him to get the rook, and that's why would we help him develop? Oh, but if he pushes, that's an issue. That's really an issue. Yeah, should have thought about that one. Crud. We have no choice. Yeah, we lost. Time crunch definitely doesn't help, but we should have seen that. It's unfortunate. We're going to review this game because I feel like this one may be interesting to look in terms of position. All right. So already 20 minutes in. Game review. It says we had 2 blunders. I'm sure that they happen towards the very end. Again, very equal. This is a missed win. But we played well. We did play well. I mean, 82% accuracy is good. He had 88.2. So I don't know. Let's kind of go through. So we have all book moves up until move. What is this? This is move number 4. So not very far in. Okay, so it's saying that this is a mistake on his part. That's fine. We have the best reply. That's an inaccuracy. Guys, we missed a fork. That's just a fork. It just wins. Although after this, I guess we take. Then they have to take, and then we take back. Unfortunate. I was so caught up in looking at the bishop that I just completely missed the. I missed that tactic. Okay. Well, we'll know to look out. All these are good moves. A few inaccuracies. This is a mistake. It wants us just to drop back, which I think we talked about, and instead we played here. But I guess that would have just prevented any check coming in. It's a good move. Yeah, only move. But yeah, this move right here was just a complete blunder. I should have just taken it. Or even it's telling me to play here would be best. And the game is still very, very equal. This is not so good, actually, taking it, because he's winning at least a pawn, right? And reality of it is that he'll probably, like, after this, what's his move? I don't know, probably here. That was a mistake, actually, once. Once queen to g3 is the best move. That's kind of ridiculous. Like anyone's gonna. It says A7 check. That's probably the most obvious, but and then kind of just run us around. Yeah, I don't know. We were very equal. Of course, we had a missed win, but very equal until we just missed that. Granted, I mean, you can see the clock. We had like I don't know. We had a minute left. We shouldn't have missed that. It's unfortunate. We had a something very similar last game too, which is bad. You know, got to learn from the mistakes. Make sure that pawn isn't getting in. Okay, we are now playing as white. Seems like maybe a mistake, maybe a pre-move. Just gonna go back. Play this move now. I don't know enough about the Ross Gambit. It seems like it. My guess is he's playing extremely quick. I think he probably pre-moved, and that was just a blunt, like maybe not a blunder, but a mistake. A free pawn this early in the game doesn't make a huge difference, but if we play very, very precisely, then it should. So I don't know. I don't. That's really not that big of a threat. I mean, I know it can seem like it, but it's really not because we just let him take. We'll let him come down, and if he wants to take, fine. If not, then we have bishop to h1, and it's okay. So I'm not worried about that. We do have to be conscious of the fact that there is nothing guarding this piece anymore. But if we go ahead and play here, we can pin the knight. He can't take, but the queen can. So that's one thing that maybe if we develop this bishop to help guard this centerpiece. So this is an interesting concept. If he's going to take, and sacrifice, I don't know. We'll let him do it because I don't know if we should let him do that. Should we? Kind of seems dangerous, doesn't it? What's the best move here? We push our king. It's not to take. The best move is not to take this. I can tell you that right now. This isn't a bad move, but the issue is now he can play this move in advance. If we had already played this move, then this would be good, and it would be fine. Let's call his bluff. Let's let him. If he wants to sacrifice, let's let him. I think we just can't lose this piece in this scenario. But we'll see. It'll be interesting. If he decides to go that route, it'll be full of a bunch of tactics for like a few moves. Obviously, we can look at taking, but I don't think that's the best idea. I definitely don't want to give up this. This is going to be crucial if we're allowing him to come in and do all this. I kind of like going back already just to stop this, and after takes. And then he comes in here. Seems scary, but like I don't really know how he gets around. Thing is, I don't think we can ignore any of this threat for too much longer. I know this is definitely not the right move. Do we want to go ahead and play a preemptive like rook out here? No, I think we're on the right idea. I think this move is better. And if he pushes, that's a mistake, and we're golden because we can just go back. Okay, so he doesn't. So let's go ahead. Ooh, wait, no, we can't yet. Wait, could we? What about this? I mean, what about that? Is there any way to stop that? Like, what does he do in retaliation? Because no matter what, I mean, we're 3 moves away from a checkmate. Of course, he can move his queen. Like, if we do this, he could probably not even, like, he probably doesn't even have to do that. He could just, oh, So I'm looking at this position now, and I'm thinking this may be the best move after takes, except for that knight. Except for that knight. But if we go here, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. This is a very interesting game. Okay, let's see. Now the issue is he has to either give up a knight or we have checkmate. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Don't think I am. Checkmate. Okay. 0 blunders, 0 mistakes. Let's do a quick game review on this. Let's see. It says we didn't play it too well. We had 2 mistakes. I don't know why they do that. They show very different like stats. Um, okay, yeah, immediately the Ross Gambit is immediately considered a mistake. That's best. These are all excellent moves. An alternative would have been to take. That's a good move. It's good. But see, I like it because I always kind of worry about that bishop. Um, if before I played this, if I played this, I always worry about this because not everyone plays it, but some people do. And now this is too slow, and like I don't know. The computer says it's okay for white that we're up by plus 1.7, but the way I play it. Okay, so it says we're still winning in this position. I'm going to include the bars that you guys can kind of see when it jumps. So this is an inaccuracy. It's also an inaccuracy. This is a mistake. It wants us just to play g4. But my issue is I don't like that because now they have this move. I said that if we had played this move previously, like here maybe, if we had played that, and then they play here, that's a great position for us. There's nothing. I mean, we're plus 1.7 in this. So I don't know, but it wanted us to play instead of moving our queen out. Actually, yeah, g4 would have been better than this. It still likes g4. It really doesn't like the idea of letting. And this is just straight up a mistake. It doesn't like the idea of letting this. But it's actually it's most concerned about this move, which he does play. That's the best move. And now black is slightly better, but it's very, very equal. This is an inaccuracy, knight to d2. So it wanted the knight to move here, which we never played. But yeah, I mean, as soon as he played this move, I immediately thought like, oh, this seems to be an error, and not addressing this threat earlier was just a blunder. Because now he has to move, and his best would probably be to take. It says the best is actually to move to knight to a5. To just go ahead and give up this knight, which is interesting. But this is also a good one of his better alternatives. It's not good though. I mean, none of it's good for him. And this knight is more or less glued as long as we have our queen here. Of course, you can play something like this, but like that's not a good move. So yeah, just a mistake, and we capitalized on it. His big mistake was castling. He was a little bit ahead by like 0.5, and as soon as he castled, we were able to pounce on it. But the blunder was ignoring this threat, pushing pawn. So cool. Little tactic. Glad that we saw it. No blunders on our part. We're 1-1. Back at 1340. Let's start game 2. We're playing as black, so we'll see what he does. We're gonna play the King's Indian setup as always, and kind of see how he answers. It's taking forever to play. Yeah, we're not going to wait. It made a noise. Abort that. Okay, new game. So when they play e4, we have to play d6 first, and now we can play this move. So again, in the King's Indian, it's kind of the idea to get that pawn in. But if they don't, it's even better for us because it's very like this pawn going to c5 is kind of the thematic pawn break on the white pieces side. So let's just make sure that we have this. Usually we do, but takes. Yeah, there's nothing stopping like this trade. So we can go ahead and push here, and if they decide to push, great. Okay, so they go ahead and push up. So I think, but now we don't have a knight here. So I got to think about the best way to get the knight there. I don't actually know. Maybe it's to play this move. I think regardless, it's not a bad move. We're weakening these squares, but I don't know if it matters too much. We can also look at like this, or one move that I've been trying to play a bit more often is this g4 move, knight to g4, preparing that, but also if they like, because sometimes they enjoy doubling up on this and then bringing the bishop down and having some sort of threat where if you take, they take, and now this is kind of pinned. But of course, e1 is probably the best out of it, and we don't really want to trade this bishop either. So if we can help it, like e1 and then h8 is good. But yeah, see, they're trying to do some weird kind of tactics. I'm seeing some stuff like here. I don't think that's a big issue, especially since in the King's Indian, like we plan to go to f4 anyway. So I think here, if they threaten, then honestly, what we can do is we can take here with the fork, uh, meaning they would have to take with their king, and then we get the bishop back. They get that, but of course we could take. So I think that's a good move. Okay, he moves back. So that's probably his best move. But now we need to make some room for our bishop. If you hear snoring, that's my dog. He's passed out. So let's go here, just giving us this opportunity to come back. I mean, if he plays the exact same move, we'll just play this. Yeah. But, good to have prepared that. This isn't a bad move. But if he doubles up, then, like, now we have some issues. Like, where are we going to put our, So let's just play back. Let's play it calm and collected. And the benefit now is that we got that. Got that. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay, and he castles to the other side. Of course he does. Okay, I'm really not familiar with how to play this anymore. So I think we can push. I mean, that's the whole idea. The good news is that this is pretty locked. He's going to have a hard time breaking through on this side of the board, which is good for us. Of course, a move like this, we need to understand, like, maybe here and then there. Our knight's kind of being a jumpy boy this game. And of course, if he lets us take, so maybe he wants us to like, but we're not taking on passant for that. Again, we want to keep this closed. So this is an extremely, extremely powerful pawn. There's no reason to mess that up. But we do need to start looking at activity on the other side of the board. So this knight isn't really going to be useful over here too much anymore, and it's kind of just a target. So we could play a move. We don't want to block off this square because that's kind of his escape square. E8 is pretty bad, I think. It's a pretty bad square. Maybe like if he plays that, this move isn't too bad. But we've kind of then resigned our knight to not really doing anything at all. So it's maybe not that good. All right. What's the best move? Do we want to? I think we can play this move with ideas of getting this knight active on the square. Oscar, are you snoring? He's so loud. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was, thinking about. But it's not a big deal. Like, this side is closed, secure, locked. He's not getting through. On this side, there's nothing going on over here, so we're good. Our king is completely safe. And yeah, now we are kind of getting our knights active. We're gonna jump here. Do we want to jump there? Actually, I don't know just yet. Again, for the same reasons that I'm explaining. There's no reason to kind of seeing some ideas. Of course, he has this check here. We got to be mindful of that. But h8 is not bad. We could also play h5, and after en passant, then we could take like this. And again, we're still locked. I don't hate that. Just go ahead and securing like the king's safety. But I think a better move would be to try and get pieces. There's nothing attacking this. I think we need to go here. This is going to be better because eventually we're going to need more defenders on this square, I think. So he's jumping in with his knight. That's a good square for his knight. It's hard for us to get rid of it. Well, actually, it's not too hard, honestly. I was thinking it would be, but like looking at it, nah, not worried about that. This is good. Look at our queen, just controlling all these squares. Jumps in here, takes is fine. Takes is fine. Even takes is fine. I honestly don't even know if I have to answer that threat. Like, it's going to be a check. And then after there, like, where is his knight going? You know what I mean? It's probably just going back, just like that. It's like kind of like a really tight quarter, kind of squashed in here. Let's put our bishop here. It's very good. We're hitting the square twice, right, with our knight. That. Now we got to kind of think about this piece and its activity, its purpose on the board. I like, maybe we move back. I want to try. I want to put this knight here, but I don't want to take like this. It's hitting here, so now we need to be aware of this. Is that a good move? I think here we're good. Kind of threatening this bishop. Protecting our pawn. Again, we're not going to take if he does this. Could we push? Maybe pushing is not a bad idea. Let's try and get some movement. It looks scary. It looks like we're almost walking into a fork, but I don't think that it is. Now we have this down our sights. I mean, he has moves like here, of course, but we're starting to open up the board. I'm going to have to move a little faster. It's kind of a common theme I'm seeing. I'm just trying so hard not to make a mistake. Even just like pushing these pawns here seems like it might be. I don't think it's like devastating. It seems like overkill. But now, now he has this, so we need to be cognizant. This needs to be our next move if he doesn't play it. It's actually a really bad move for us. Now that I'm looking at it, if he plays here, it's very strong because it's a discovered attack, so we can't even. Okay, he doesn't, and he blocks his position back up. That's all the better for us, honestly. We're just simply going to drop back. Yeah. Drop back again. We got two attackers on here. The three defenders, sorry, on this position. Well, the discovered attack. Part of me is thinking I could almost play this, but no, there's no really world in which that works, is there? Okay. So yeah, that's a good move. The benefit, if there is one, is that this pawn's going to kind of be a menace and just push its way down the board. It's now threatening this, right? I'm not worried. Takes. Oh, I should be worried because I'm going to lose that pawn too. But I don't know if there's much he can do without being pinned on the next move. So I think we'll end up okay. But it's always good to think on his time. Not really too sure what he's thinking, though, what he's wanting to do. And we're pinned too, aren't we? It's a very, very, very strong bishop. It's a very strong bishop. Let's get our rook over here, contest the open. If ever he moves his queen, this knight will be hanging. Something to keep in mind. I was wondering, like, if we could play this, takes, play that with check. Ooh. Is that a move? And let's say if he doesn't play this, if he plays this, maybe we play this. Not. Let's give it a go. If he thinks he's just won the knight, then we have this little tactic with the check that I honestly would probably be susceptible to forget. He doesn't though. So now we got to think, what's our best move? I think we have to take. Oh, but look at our queen though. It's very problematic, isn't it? But his knight is pinned. His knight is pinned. He can't take ours, or else we're taking his. Okay, he goes on to secure his queen. Don't think we really care to trade all our pieces off the board. Don't really know how we stop it. I think we just got to go here and start like playing these moves. We have 1 minute and 30 left on the time. We're really kind of cutting it close. Okay, it's forcing the trade. The bishop is so annoying. It's the bane of my existence at the moment. Dark square bishop that he has. He's going to come in and win this pawn, isn't he? I can't stop it because then I'm losing this. Maybe here's okay. There's that move, then I just have to be okay with. But I can also do this. That and that. We're gonna get into time trouble again, unfortunately, guys. Just play here. After this move, I think we can go here and then there. Just kind of push up a little bit. Trying to think. I don't know really what he could play that would. I guess this rook isn't tied to this as a defender, because it's protected by a bishop here. I think we can go ahead and play this and then try and contest this square. Again, I'm aware of the time. We have 46 seconds left, so yeah, we'll see what happens. If he pushes, then I think we just push this pawn up, and we're defending our back pawn. He does neither, so I think then we play this move. And he may play here, but we can double up too. He doesn't. He plays king there. Maybe I'm okay giving up this pawn with the activity that I'll gain from. I don't know. I kind of just need to make a move too as part of it. So he took right back. He's gonna take, and then we're gonna take here. To me, it seems the most logical. Except for that would be. No, that's not checkmate because we can come back. Yeah. Then he's winning here. We're gonna put a check in and like maybe go here. It's all kind of dumb. This game is. I mean, we'll be winning these pawns. Maybe that's our hope, is to have this like pawn that's will kind of have been passed. That's like the good thing. Because I think we'll be able to get like activity here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know how he's going to stop us from taking this. He's not even going to try. But yeah. It's all in time troubles now. If he does something like this, I think we just take the check. And our next move is going to have to be to go here, and then here. Unless he's nice and just gives us the 5th rank for free, which I doubt. I think regardless, just because we're a pawn down, 2 pawns down, we're just losing anyway. Because after he goes there, we go, pushes, and he's taking a check. He doesn't even do that. He goes there. That's fine. Shoot, I mean, I'll do a repeat if you want. That would make this game. Yeah, now he's. We got 1 second left. There's no way. There's just no way to win. 1 second. See, that wasn't like. And blunder. Oh well. I don't know. I don't feel like we played that game bad at all. I feel like we got really kind of, again, caught on time. He just had that blunder. We would have, if we had more time, we would have won. It says we played like an 800, so apparently we played that pretty poorly. But it felt to me like we played that well. So let's go through the analysis real quick. So all book moves. It's all fine. This is a mistake. Because after takes, he has takes, but I was under the impression that we had takes. Then he had knight to x7. Yeah, okay, and so we have here, here, here. Now after takes. Um, I don't know. I don't really know how it's escaping. So I mean, we have c4 check, and king to g7, and they have e6 check. Oh, and now it's protected. Okay, so interesting. I did not calculate that far clearly. Anyway, they missed it. This is an inaccuracy. I thought it was nice. I like to kind of threaten the bishop a little bit. I thought that was a fine move. Thought that was good. Yeah, that was all good. Felt good. It felt like we closed that. We had the king safety. Let's go back. This is a blunder. What? Why? Because now c4, check. And wants rook to f7. What if I just play h8? We have h5. But why are we too worried about this? With now takes. I don't even know if I would have taken. I probably would have just like, I don't know. Let's just say we play e8, right? It's what it's saying is the best move. Now we have knight to b5. Or like eventually we end up with this. I don't know. That's a weird one. I'm not good enough to really understand that. It didn't feel like a blunder, and obviously he didn't see it as a blunder either. Which is good. It means he's not using a computer. So again, apparently these are all misses, but it's very like none of these are easy to see. Um, I don't know. None of these are really clear to me. So that was the best move. Again, the idea was that if he takes there, we take with check, and now we're just up a queen. Unfortunately, he saw that and took back. And this was a mistake. So what was the best move? The best move was to play e3. And if they were to play this move, and we play a2, and then if he plays a move like this, a1 check, and apparently it's mate in 4. After queen to d2, have takes b2 here. I guess we check, and then now he can just block. Oh no, wait, no, not like that. Sorry. Then we had this. Interesting. But we had to find that move, which if he took like this, then that was the best move to take like that. That's crazy. Wow, that would have been a really hard move to find. I didn't find it. We go on. So yeah, that was a missed win because we didn't push. Takes, and then he's I guess just up 2 pawns. Really hard to convert. I mean, I don't think any of these moves were particularly bad. I mean, obviously, he had this move, which I saw it as soon as I played it. But like, look at our time. We have 1.1 second. But like, clearly that would have been a mistake. You know, we would have been able to just kind of pick up. So it is what it is. It happens. Gosh, so that leaves us losing 2 and winning 1. Let's try one more game and see. Let's try. Okay, yeah. Sorry, it cut out. Let's try one more game. See if we can have any better luck with that one. I don't feel like we're playing bad. That's the good thing, even though it says that we had like an 800 and they had a 950 on that last game. I feel like we're playing pretty good overall chess. It's just our opponents seem to be playing really well too. Had chances to win the F3 push. They're over here, I guess. Apparently that would have been just deadly. Or maybe it wasn't F3, it was D3. I can't remember. Oof. If you guys are watching this and you're in the US, are you watching college football today? Any big games that you're looking for? You know where I'm from, there's a lot of Clemson fans. See if you can guess what state. But Clemson hasn't been playing too well in general this season. South Carolina has, though. I would say kind of unfortunately, but like, you know what? Good for them. Just continue. These are all kind of the Catalan main ideas. That's a good idea too. There's nothing wrong with trading the bishop for that knight. That's another thing. In that last game too, the knights were kind of going crazy in terms of like maneuvers and whatnot. Okay, well, this almost screams fork, right? But after this, this, but then we can take, and I think we're doing pretty good because we have this defender here. So let's just take. We're up a pawn. Easy little exchange, and even something like this would be pretty. You can even like kind of simplify. We need to look out for this clearly. Actually, why didn't he play that? He should have played that. I think that was a mistake on our part. I think we needed to play that there. I'll have to go back and look in the analysis for that. See if we had any like counterplay or anything. But too late. Too late. You waited too long. So that's what happens. I'll go ahead and put our rook here. Get our queen up. Obviously not going to help him develop. It seems not the right move at all. Do I want to play a move out like here? You know, kind of threatening a queen trade. Obviously, we're protected. And then we have kind of like a good square to go to, maybe. Could also play a move just straight up like this. Kind of see how he reacts. I mean, I'm guessing he could take it, then we could take here. You'd have counterplay because we can't really get back to defend. But I don't know, we could straight up take like this now and then double his pawns in return. Double his kingside pawns. Do we feel like that's enough? Maybe. Maybe. Let's try it. And I mean, there's a very real reality. He just plays this. And if he doesn't, I think we take like this. Actually, no, I think if he does, then we have to answer and take back. We won't have there, but we'll have. Okay. Now we need to think this through for a minute. I'm seriously considering giving up the rook for some sort of activity elsewhere. I'm trying to find if we have anything, which we may not. And I can't really see anything off the top of my head. Like, Here doesn't really work because he just takes. Of course, we can go here. I don't know if we're stopping that any possible way. So I think we just got to take. For my last games, I really can't think for too long. If he takes with the queen, we take. And then depending on what he takes with, we're taking here. Ideally, he just takes like this and gives us double pawns, although, it's nice to be hopeful, but it's not good to count on it. So let's count on him taking some else way like this. Would almost be good if it wasn't for the bishop here. But we can so he takes with the queen. But I think we just trade queens now. I think if we put some pressure on d1, now when we take back, he's going to be more reluctant to take this way because we're going to be taking like that. There's a chance that he puts his rook to block, and then we have knight moves here because of the pin. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have a pin regardless. Because after takes, either he takes us and we take back, or he moves his knight to safety, and then, that's not really safe, but he moves it to somewhere safer, and then we take. So he does neither. That's an interesting choice. I mean, I really like this outpost here. I mean, that's kind of an untouchable. It's not untouchable, but it's gonna be a second before he's able to get much momentum going. He can't even go here because this is the fork with the check. So if he makes that mistake, then we have that coming. The e7 and the c7 squares are going to be weak for him, and we have our bishops or our rooks very nicely positioned on. This one's just a completely open file, but this one's semi-open. We have one of our pieces blocking, but it's mostly his pieces, which is even better. It's okay. Didn't want to be there anyway. Just thinking, I wanted to play this. I was considering this move earlier, but of course it wasn't a good idea to block our bishop in, because after that exact move we have, if this piece was here, we wouldn't really have much to be able to. Is there some sort of weird smother mate? What if we go here? His only move would be here. I mean, of course he could go here, but that's just blocking his. I mean, that's just terrible for him. So if he goes here, he has to go here. And then what if we go here? Obviously, if he goes there, I think that's just a mistake, because we'll kind of have some sort of windmill pattern. I don't know exactly where the best square will be to hop to after. But I'm I don't know. I'm seeing some sort of puzzle, some puzzle mate tactics of some sort of smother mate. Not sure if we have it, but it's good to kind of see that, right? So after we're here, and then we bring our knight in with the check. If you were to go here, I don't really see anything. But I think this isn't. The only issue that we risk is getting our rook kind of trapped. I'd rather not do that. But yeah, maybe that wasn't the best move, because just as that, I was thinking we threatened the bishop, but he has quite the choice of squares that he's able to go to. None on this diagonal anymore. He's getting kicked back over here. Maybe after let's just chase around a little bit, see what happens. He should take with that. If he takes with this, then we're winning his knight. Or you can take with your knight too. For a very similar reason, I think we're going to be able to win this pawn in a couple of moves. But of course, we got to be aware of the threat that we have now. So I kind of like the idea of putting our rook onto this open file, also stopping any, like, this isn't defended, but these three are. That's defended. So I like that, and we're going to give this check here in a second. I don't think we're going to get much out of it. But the issue is now we don't have anything hitting that pawn. I mean, it's not like an issue, but like looking back on it, that was kind of the point. So maybe this move would have been better. It would have done the same thing, but keep the pressure on. So yeah, I don't know, but a move like that is okay. It's just now we've taken two moves to make one. So um, this is a fork here, but unfortunately, there's nothing covering this, so it's just an equal trade of pieces at the end of the day. I think we can go here with our knight dropping back to protect if he decides to trade, and now we've opened up this and we're making a new threat on this pawn. I guess it's up with this. And then maybe we just play like here. No, definitely not there, but like here. He doesn't. Okay. I think I need to move my king in to help protect. Just got to make sure there are no immediate checks with the knight. Even like coming in, I don't think that's anything to worry about. Okay, we obviously can't take because now the knight's protecting. This is a fork square if we can ever get there. But I guess we should capitalize on the open file. Get our rook out of danger. Capitalize on the fact that it's now controlling a lot of squares. I almost want to play here, but after this move, we're simply not doing so hot. So it's best not to play that move. I would immediately lose. We could look to get our rook in here, but I like the idea of this. I'm just trying to figure out how we can get this defender off. Maybe this is a good square for our knight anyway. We can go ahead and play it. And if ever he decides to move his knight, then we just keep this in mind as a potential option. I think there's a very real possibility he comes in with a move like this. The other good news is that we've already, moved our knight, so even this threat doesn't bother us. He just decides to take. Is it crazy to try and get our king involved, like so far up the board? I don't know if it is because now it gives us this move. Now this isn't check, right? We can kind of chase him around until we can play this move. It's always kind of a trade-off, right? It's you're kind of sacrificing your king's safety, but the king is a powerful piece too. It's more than a pawn, right? Of course, it's worth worth its weight in gold, worth the most on the chessboard. So yeah, we'll see what happens where he decides to go. Okay, he decides to give us kind of a counter threat. It's an interesting choice. That would be a good move if he didn't have this one piece. I don't want to trade. I definitely don't want to trade. But I really like where our piece is. I don't want to really move it. So let's see what other options we have. We could put him in some checks. Maybe that's a good way to just win a piece, and then after, I mean, our king is extremely active compared to his, and I don't have much time, so I need to kind of do it now or never. But the idea is that now our king is very, very active. I mean, his is going to be immediately too after this, but also now, like if he plays here, we can look at this move because it's protected. He doesn't. So I think we can just play here, and if he takes, then we take. We're down by about a minute. Seems to be the negative effect of me talking. And if we win this game, we're going to be exactly where we started. It's going to be an equal day. They happen. Better than a negative day. That's how you know you're probably right around the level you need to be, I guess. Let me just drop back. I mean, I know I'm talking about piece activity, and technically, yeah, his king is a little bit more active. But I didn't want to give up this pawn. Need to be careful. If he moves like I almost think we're okay to take because of his pawn structure. Like this pawn's not going anywhere. And we're going to be able to take these, and we're connected here. Even after I move like this. I think this move's okay. There's kind of like an invisible wall, right? Except for that. And now we give him the N. Damn it. He didn't take it. It's okay. I think this is our only move. If he takes, we just take. Takes. Oh, we're too slow. We're too slow. Too slow. We're too slow. Too slow. If there's any way we can queen. Then I don't think he can make another one, as long as we kind of keep our king away from this queen so that he can't trade and then just make a new one. Just got to make sure that I'm not giving him a check where he's able to then take my pawn. But I don't think he can do it yet because he needs this square or that square. He doesn't have it. And I just gave it to him. It's all right. We're going to make him. I mean, he's the one who has to put us in checkmate, so we're going to take advantage of that. He should be able to do it, no problem. But no, he's even going to go for a ladder mate. Come on, man. All right, I don't blame him though. I probably would do the same. Yeah. All right. Let's see what happened on that game. 4 blunders. Fortunately, not a great game. We're back at. We played like a 1600 with an 80% accuracy. Because 80% of the moves were the best ones. We had 2 blunders, 1 miss, 2 mistakes. My guess is the blunders are maybe towards the end of the game. I'm gonna go into the analysis because I like that better. So that's a mistake on his. This is a blunder. The reason why it wants us to play queen, or wants us to play knight to d2, but it's saying that this is a blunder. I guess it just gives it the advantage, like saying, oh yeah, because we allowed the, because right, so we didn't take the rook, or we didn't protect the rook, but we saw that in the game. Remember, completely forgot, but we did see that, and then yeah, now we have a slight advantage here. These are all good moves. Now we have a very high advantage, but this was a blunder. The best move would have been to play b4, apparently. d2 also would have been a good move. What's the issue with our move? The issue with our move is that we allow the bishop to get in here, and we're actually equal. It's just now we're not ahead anymore. All that is excellent or good. There's a slight inaccuracy. It wants us to have taken back with the g pawn. I liked keeping my pawns structured together and the king activity. This is a missed win because it has knight to e7 would have been best for some reason. Because after this move, you have, oh, what? It's telling me that because now we have f5 check. What if they didn't play that though? What if they just played this? Still have x5 check. But okay, so now they can just move their king, right? But this is even worse apparently. Or let's say he does this. This is mate in 2? Where? Rook to g7 check. Wait, no. Sorry. g4 check. Oh my gosh. Because that's... Wow. What do you know, guys? What do you know? So we did have a potential mate because the solution to this was to push, which I doubt he would have found because after takes, it just likes losing. Like, g6 is the best. And there's like... It even wants us to take here. And if they take here, then... Oh yeah, you even leave there to hang the rook. Okay. Well, whatever. We didn't play that in the game. That was tough. Maybe you guys found it. Let me know if you found it. It says that was the best. I thought, yeah. It says that was a great move. That was the best. That was the mistake. Did we need to take? I'm surprised. Honestly, I thought moving the king here was a mistake. I thought maybe we should have done this. But I didn't want to wait for, like, if we did here. Yeah, see, now we're equal. I would have played g4. But after this move, I guess it wants us to play take here. Dang, did we? So we still were winning too, even in the endgame. This is completely winning. And this was apparently a great move. That was the best, and that accuracy. And we should have just taken here. It takes. It's for the. Oh no. Doesn't even want e. Oh my gosh! It doesn't even want e4. Because this is equal. It wants e3. I would not have played that. And after this, now we can take, because now we're blocking any movement from the king. Now we can take, and now we're in the position to go. I need to work on my end game. End game is not it. Yeah, I mean, all these moves, whatever. It's low on time and we're losing anyway. So yeah, that's the games for today. Hope you guys enjoyed them. I don't know. I've been training, but apparently it's not enough. So tomorrow, hopefully, will be some better games. Today did we lose three? We lost 3 games and won one. It's not the right direction. All right, we're sitting at 13-24 for tomorrow. See you guys then.